Hi there, welcome to the HTM buddy build of the USS Reliant. My name is Ken with Ken's Hobby Bench.
And I'm Jordan with a line in the stars.
Welcome back, everyone. So, Jordan, this past week here, we got some work done on some lighting here. What did you get done on yours?
Still in progress, and that is getting the impulse deck put in place. Well, it's not really the impulse deck, just the impulse engine put in place. So I've been kind of working on getting, unfortunately, the parts on the other side of the room right now, so I didn't think to grab the rear engine part of it, but getting the resin piece that Will sent to us, getting in this fit into place. I've gotten the impulse engine, the original one, cut out, and I've just been kind of working on getting it sanded in place. And so, yeah, working on that, and also as well working on a little bit of lighting and the sanding. The sanding is almost complete. It's all kind of needs to be finished up. So that's gonna what I got done for this episode. So yeah, that's what's coming out for me here in the coming couple days. How about yourself?
Oh, last week I just kind of finished up some lighting. I did my flickering LEDs. I've got them put it back in place, and I did replace the one that I burned out, or sorry, that I wrecked right at the very end of my episode. I was pulling it out of this little light box, and wouldn't you know it, it broke it. Broke the connection somewhere on the inside. So I just said, you know what? I'll just burn in a new one, and now it's in place. So yeah, but all good now. So what are you going to
Nice.
work on this week?
Well, the big task. I've spent the last week or so getting all 28 of my LEDs burned in, ready to go. I'm going to be getting all of my light boxes installed. And first things first, I got to get this primed. I got to get this light block from the inside. So I'm going to be taking care of that over the next couple of days. But then after that gets after the primer and everything gets cured up, going to get the light boxes put in place and start working on getting all my wiring done around the outside. Big step. Lots of wiring to do. This was a lot of this was a lot. Like 28 of these is quite a bit. I realized that there's going to be some amps running through this model, and I'm a little bit behind you, of course. And it's just amazing seeing how many wires you've got running through the back there. It's just, oh boy.
Yeah. The thing is, a lot of them are just getting narrowed down to, down to one here and
Right.
one there, just so that when it's actually time, like this, these will be shortened again, and then put into one, and they'll be attached to the ones on the top, and do the same thing, and then just so I can get down to one wire only going through this little hole here, because
Right.
it's only, I think right now, I think I've got it set as a 6 millimeter uh tube for it to go down.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
hoping
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't have to go through anything. I'm hoping I don't have to increase the size. So
Yeah.
that's what I had
Yep.
ordered with the base kit
Yeah.
from from oh, trying to
Cosmic
remember.
scale.
Thank you, Cosmic Scale.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
so I ordered 6 millimeter, and I ordered it with the pre-drilled hole. I mean, yeah, I can increase it, but I don't want to start making it larger than I really have to.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
So
that's awesome. What about you? What are you going to be working on this week?
so this week I've already done a little bit and recorded it. I've done some lights here for these windows around here. You can see here
Nice.
I've got a little bit of styrene, and then I've got some right here going around for the inside for these windows. So you'll see me working on that. And then I've started working on my planetary sensor here. Now going through, we've got Todd Marvel Phoenix over at Hobby Time Modelers. He's done our intro, and he's done a lot of stuff to help us out. He's doing our lighting for us with the programming. He got together he went through all the footage of the ship for us and provided us with a copy of just any shots of the ship. And there's only like 2 minutes and 11 seconds. So going
Mhm.
through that, looking at the planetary sensor, there's only two little red lights that come out of the front. and really nothing that comes out of the sides or the back, except for one scene. It comes out of the back before Khan takes over the ship, and then after that, nothing. So I'm gonna get that wired up, put that in, and then yeah, I'm probably gonna be doing my. Uh, Actually, I'm gonna do. I know I want to do my Raytheon effect for the front, and then I also want to do my impulse engines and maybe get my crystal in place as well. I don't know if I will get the crystal in place, but we'll see. But for sure, I want to start working on this rear of the ship. So, yeah, that's kind of what I got, what I'm going to go for. I keep saying I'm going to work on the pylons here, but I just keep end up backing out and not doing them. So I'm not going to say that I'm going to do them this time.
Nice.
I think we should give a shout out to Phil over at
Oh yeah,
at
Spruverse.
Brewverse there. He just completed a build of this kit, and he did use
Man.
some of the parts that we are using. He didn't use all the parts, and he did a little bit of masking of the saucer, but he also did a lot of the decal work. So
Yep.
shout out to Phil. He did a great job.
Yeah, it was an
He's
excellent.
really
It was an
happy with
excellent
it.
build. Yeah,
Yes.
you know what's funny is like we're going deep. You know, even deeper than Will is going with his. You know, because like we managed to like stay behind him enough that like we received all of the parts. So, but it shows like Phil with his build, he was able to show that just the 537 kit with just a few mods is such an amazing build, and it can look really really good. So anybody at AMT, if you guys are listening, give us the 350 already, for the love of sprues.
Yes. Please do. Yeah. So yeah, shout out to Phil. Great job, Phil. Always amazing, and you always get it done so quick. You are a fast
Yeah,
building person.
it's
So
crazy. Ken and I were like, "Uh-oh, like we better finish before Phil does," and I don't even know what we were thinking.
we didn't stand a chance, Phil.
No, we did not.
Also, like to say that if you're looking to build this as well, like Phil did, or like we are, or will, the parts should be ready. Not like tomorrow for us is the 1st of August. So August sometime here. Um, Cass over at Lake Monster Details is hoping to have the parts available for purchase. So keep an eye out on Lake Monster Detail for all that, and hopefully you'll be able to get some of these amazing parts from both Will's designs and from Cass's business, because some of these he already had done, and others Will's provided him with to print out. So just keep an eye out for that, and check out Lake Monster Detail for all your other ships that you're looking to build and modify.
Absolutely. All
Well,
right, my friend. It seems like it's time to get to building. What do you think?
I think it is. So
All right,
let's
my
head off
friend.
to the bench and get some work done.
I'll see you there.
Man, I've been holding in a fart.
Oh my god. All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Line of the Stars. I'm Jordan, and I have been hit with the usual technical difficulties for whatever reason. I don't know what happened to the recording where I went ahead and installed the impulse engine deck here, but yeah, I kind of lost that recording. Not quite sure what happened there. So, needless to say, getting this installed was fairly easy. All you need to do is cut around this part here. As you can see, you're just going to cut out the triangle part, and there was a built-in piece for that, and you just kind of fit it in. And I got to say, I got really, really close. Like, it fits in really nice. Everything is nice and snug and secure. I went ahead and got my initial light blocking done. This is also helping me to see where I need to do some more sanding work along here. So using the primer as a kind of a guide for sanding, but it's also working on some light blocking as well. both on the inside and the outside. While I did that as well, I went ahead and took care of light blocking all of my light boxes for the saucer, or the main body of the Reliant. So we're basically all ready to go for that perspective for next week. In between episodes, I'm going to go ahead and continue to do light blocking work, which is going to be taking care of the light blocking for the main body of the ship, the saucer section, whatever we want to call it. But we're going to go ahead and take care of getting all the light blocking on the inside of that ready to go, so that we can go ahead and get all of our LEDs installed. So this episode, like many others going ahead, it's kind of hard for me to break it up into little pieces for digestion, for editing and what have you. So what I'm going to be doing is just kind of throwing up the camera building, and then I'll go ahead and narrate as I go ahead and complete the edit for it. But what we need to do, as I mentioned here in the beginning with Ken, I need to go ahead and get all of the components put in place and get this basically fully assembled and ready for main assembly. So to do so, what we're going to do is I've already pre-installed these 4 ports for the 3mm LEDs for our tractor beam emitters up here. So we're going to go ahead and put those 4 LEDs in. I went ahead and created a couple of light boxes, because it's one of the light boxes that were not provided with this build, for the corner RCS thrusters here. So we're going to put those in along with the LEDs. And then we're going to go ahead and get the light boxes for the shuttle bays put in place. And then finally, we're going to go ahead and install the LEDs for the impulse engines, and also the diffusion crystals as well, as I like to call them. So what we're going to go ahead and do is, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and start building and assembling, and then I'll go ahead and narrate over the top during the edit. And then at the very end, I'll go ahead and come back with a live, like, okay, here's where we are, and we'll talk a little bit about the results. So let's go ahead and get to building, shall we? All right, so as we get into this build, basically I've gone through and created all of these LEDs. It was a lot of soldering over a couple of night period, basically. I was watching TV and doing some soldering. All of the LEDs actually for the entire build are now ready to go. And so this is going to be a lot how we're going to basically be taking care of installing our LEDs for this build going forward. And very simply, for these, we do have the ports, as I mentioned before, pre-put in place, and then just plugging them into the 3D printed parts, and then using my UV resin with the flashlight to secure everything in place. We basically got all 4 of our LEDs put in. Now, next up, one of the things that I realized that I probably should have done beforehand, and probably for a couple of these parts, this was definitely a learning lesson for me, in the sense that when I go to actually take care of the saucer section, I'm not going to be making this mistake, but I should have gone through and measured out my LEDs and created my little light bouquets, as Ken likes to call them. Basically go through and get all of my leads soldered together, do the common positives, negatives, what have you. And in this case, I went ahead and just went with common negatives. Don't know if I'm going to regret that decision or not, but here we are. But I'm just going through, combining my negatives and positives and soldering my wires up. I can tell you that using this OmniFixo is a amazing tool. Makes you seem actually a little bit like a professional when you're really not. I really suck at soldering. I hope these aren't all cold solders. I think I know what I'm doing. But using the OmniFixo really helps. And so I combined each side. I think when I get this installed, I'll be going through and combining these 2 down one more time into one common circuit. I don't need them to light up independently of each other, so I want to go ahead and basically make sure that they are tied together and not taking up too many spots on the Arduino, as I'm starting to get a little worried with the amount of, like, it's just 16 lights back from this one part. And obviously, like, they're going to be combined down, but I worry about taking up too many pins on the Arduino. Obviously, we can hook up a couple of them, but that point it starts getting a little bit expensive. As always, after I get things installed, I do like to go through and do a little bit of testing and making sure that everything works. And in this case, you'll see here, and I might actually point it out, I think I do. There definitely, yeah, you can see there's a little bit of light bleed around each one of the LEDs. I need to go through here and basically do a lot more light blocking around the inside of those. They're only supposed to be little pinpoints of light. So otherwise, this is just me going through and cleaning up the rest of the wiring by taking care of all of my getting lost in watching the video. I'm a terrible voiceover artist here. But going through and working through and getting all of my wires cinched up. So those are all braided up, ready to go. Let's go ahead and move on to the next section. Right, so as we get into installing the Shuttle Bay light boxes, the thing that I'm pointing out here first is there's going to be a little notch in that light box, and you're going to want to put that down towards the bottom left or the bottom right, depending on which side you're using or building at that time. And that's going to be just to allow for a little bit of room, I'm assuming, for the light box that wasn't included in the print set that I got from Will. So it doesn't quite fit when you put it any other way, and so that's just kind of the way it works. It doesn't really affect this build, however. So, as always with our resin pieces, I'm using super glue to get everything installed, and very simply just getting all of our parts, or the two parts, glued in place. This is fairly easy. There are some built-in slots, basically like little ridges in the built model itself, and these light boxes fit in there perfectly and sit in just as you can see there. There's very little light blocking that you're going to need to do around the outside. I'll probably use a little bit of tulip in between episodes before we go ahead and get the build installed on the saucer, and I went ahead and did the same thing over here on the other side. Now, the realization, of course, has kind of kicked in that I need to go ahead and create a couple little light bouquets, as I did beforehand, or as I did in the previous section. And for this one, I went ahead and just a quick little edit, combined down the positives and the negatives, and we're going to go ahead and just solder a lead up to each end. I do like to use 30 gauge wire for most of my builds. I will go to 28 gauge, but I tend to keep them a little on the... I like my wires to be super thin, so I have plenty of room to work with. It just kind of works out well for me. Yeah, OmniFixa really does kind of make you feel like a professional sometimes. The old helping hands, like I don't miss using those things, let me tell you. As always, we're going to go ahead and secure those up with our shrink tubing. I like to use the 3-to-1. This is the 2mm. I wish I had more of the 1mm, but this works just fine. I have since ordered some more 1mm tubing, just a little bit thinner and easier to work with, especially over these small gauge wires. So here are our light bouquets. Now, one thing I will say is that I wish that I had given myself a little bit more slack, as we will see here in a moment. Everything fits perfectly, like almost too perfectly. And the issue that kind of ran into is that the connection was awful tight right at where the shrink tube was for the negative side, and like so tight that I was a little worried that it was going to maybe break over time. So as you can see here, I kind of bend the LED, and that did not break the LED. I thought that it did, but what it did actually was crack the 3D resin part. Now, 3D resin, these are really, really thin, designed super thin by Will for a reason, to fit into this model, because there's going to be so much added to it. And I'm here just panic testing right now to make sure everything's still working. I thought that broke. I didn't see that it actually had broken the 3D part, but this is Sunlu ABS like, and it definitely is brittle, that's for sure. So I would have just given myself a little bit more of a lead on each one of those. I gave myself an inch. If you're going to follow along and do the same thing that I'm doing here, you're going to want to use 1.25 inches. Now, for the wire, like creating a little conduit, I have actually discovered that I like to put it into the end of a pin vise, the end of the wire, and then hold at the base of the LED, and then twist. I really like these little twist wires, as I saw Ken started doing, and but I hated doing it, and so I discovered that you can use the end of your pin vise to twist those up. But yeah, I'd give yourself about 1.25 inches at the end of each one of those leads, to allow yourself a little bit more room to work with. So, all right, now after twisting the second side, we're going to go ahead and give a test as always. And I do have to say, those did turn out really, really good. I am noticing, however, that we're going to need something to light block the bottom. So we'll take care of that when we finish the next section. But I have to say, everything looks really, really good here. The effect turned out exactly the way it looked on screen. All right, so for this, I had to kind of try my hand at a little bit of scratch build work, and I need some help. Not a scratch builder, but I did make this work. I created these little light boxes, and I will talk a little bit about it at the end of the video, but I did create these little light boxes, and I'm not like super, thrilled with, how they turned out. At least one of them. It could have been a little bit better, but overall, I'm pretty pleased. I wound up just taking a strip of the, basically, I think it was the 0.2 mm thickness styrene sheet, and basically folded it and put a cap on the top and bottom, and kind of fit it around, and then put the little strip down the middle. Now, I have to say that this part will likely be part of the Lightbox set when this eventually does come out, but I did not get the STL files for these, and they're still not available on Colts 3D. I need to make a note to let Will know, and Will, if you're watching, these RCS thruster corner light boxes, we need to make sure we get those uploaded. But yeah, went ahead and created them myself. I overall pretty pleased with the effect here. And what I'm doing right now is using my favorite light blocking technology, and that is aluminum tape. This stuff is fantastic. Works really, really good for this application. And one of the things that I'm hoping that it'll do as well is amplify the lighting in there, because what I'm using, as with the top grill and the bottom grills on the roll bar, And I'm talking about the top grill and the saucer section. I am using the 3-volt or the 3mm 3.3 volt UV lights for this. I was looking for a real pale blue glow, and it kind of works perfectly with this, and kind of casting a light that is there, you can see, but it's not like super obnoxious and in your face. So I've been working through and getting all 4 corners all taken care of. Once again, a little bit of light blocking around the edges, likely some tulip getting smeared in there is what is going to wind up getting, what's going to wind up taking to get that put in place. So as always, just running through and getting my LEDs tested as I'm installing them. I want to make sure that everything is working. And in this case, I think for this first one, I'm testing to see if my concept worked for this. And I really wish that I had looked at the other one, because I considered this one fine, but I have to say that the other one turned out much better, so I would have seen the kind of flaw in this. But going to get our LEDs installed, and to do so, as always, we're just going to use our UV resin. I like using the UV resin as it's not like an actual glue, it's not holding anything down, but I'm just kind of like putting a clip, like a resin clip, over the top of each one of the LEDs, and it kind of holds it in place without using glue or anything that might damage the LED, because I don't want to cause any problems with the integrity of it. And as always, going to go ahead and run through and get my little wire twists put together. So once again, to describe what I'm doing is I have my pin vise open up all the way. Well, not all the way, but open it up where the teeth are opened, and then I close the wire around it. I pinch the leads right at the end of the LED, so it's not twisting the leads at the LED, if that makes any sense. And then holding it in place, I release the pin vise and release the wire. Nice and easy. Much easier than what I'd been attempting to do before. So, and as you can see here, the first one turned out okay. That side turned out fantastic. I'm really excited how that side turned out. Basically created the same effect that Will did in his videos, and so really pleased with how that one side turned out. Likely going to fix that. I mentioned that here at the very end. And then, as I mentioned in the previous section, we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of light blocking at the bottom, and using the aluminum tape as a reflector to get some more light put up into the bottom of the shuttle bay. I think this turned out pretty good. Pretty pleased. Let's go ahead and move on and get the impulse engines taken care of. All right, so one of the parts that I'm really excited about putting together is this one. These parts were printed so well, and they're just such a compliment to this model. Now, on this piece, where I'm gluing now, at the very bottom, there's going to be a slight, like maybe 20-degree angle. That matches up with the bottom of the impulse engine deck, and that's where this diffusion crystal is going to be fit into place. You want to use just a little bit of glue. Don't need to worry too much about clouding. If anything, it'll help, but you don't want to go totally ham. Now, I'm just kind of going through, putting a spot of glue in the points and the corners to secure it in place. I'm just worried about it kind of getting dislodged over time, and so, well, not over time, but as I'm waiting to get this assembled. So put a little glue in there, and then as you can see here, went ahead and just dropped a spot of glue onto the front of that piece, and then we're going to take the second diffusion piece and set it right down over the top. Now you set it down through the front of the grill, and it kind of locks everything into place. I really do like this design. It's clever, and I feel like it really works well for this application. So once again, just dropping a tiny little bit of glue and then setting that down in place. Now the whole assembly is complete. We're ready to get some LEDs installed, and I do have to say that this next part is really, really cool. And I wish that I demonstrated. During the edit, I realized that I didn't demonstrate until the very end. But the three spots where I just pointed is where we're going to be installing our LEDs. And I'll get back to what I'm saying here in a second. What I'm demonstrating right now is that I've created already a little light bouquet. I was thinking ahead already. And we have two red LEDs. It's really hard to pick up. We have our two red LEDs on the outside with our orange in the middle. We wanted to add a little bit of color differentiation and a little depth into that. So, I totally got off track, as I usually do. So for the center, putting the orange LED in place and securing it in place with our UV resin. Wow, I totally did get off track on that front, didn't I? I forgot what I was saying. The beauty of voiceovers. And then we're going to go ahead and put both of our red LEDs on either side and secure them in place with our UV resin as well. Oh, yeah, I was talking about, I wish that I had tested. Man, it's amazing. I wish that I had tested the LEDs here, but we'll come back and test them here as I come to the review. But overall, I have to say that this build turned out really, really well. A lot of planning, a lot of work went into this, many hours of soldering and light blocking and cutting and doing all the things. A lot of work went into this part, and I do have to say it turned out really well and really worth all of the work that was done. All right, so after about an hour and a half or so of assembly, gluing, and all the rest, it's all lit up. Everything works. So let's go ahead and take a look, shall we? Now, I know the cameras are going to wind up blowing things out, but here we are. So I'm not super pleased. First observation, I may pull this light box off that I created for the, looks like the port side here. And open it up a little bit because I like how this side turned out, and you can kind of see around it and kind of catch some of that blue. But then over here, it's a little bit more subtle. But I am pretty pleased with the shuttle bay lights. Turned out really good. The tractor beam lights also turned out really, really good. And the impulse engine lights also turned out really, really good. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm not going to permanently attach these. I'm going to paint these separately from the rest of the ship. I'm going to wind up masking this off. But this part did come with little grills. I'm going to set inside. I'll go ahead and put those in now. And this should give us a proper look at the redesign of the impulse engines. And I have to say, guys, that looks really, really good. I am very pleased with how all this turned out. Now, what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to go through and do some more sanding, get a little light blocking done, and like I said, take care of this light box. But otherwise, the rear portion of this ship is all taken care of. Let's go ahead and get these little grills out. These are very nicely 3D printed. You can also use the Paragraphics grills over the top, but I want to use the 3D printed ones. But overall, like there are per side, there are 6, 12, 15 LEDs just in the in the back of this ship. It's kind of insane. Obviously, you need to do a little bit more cable management and all that, but we are all fully lit up here on the back, and the assembly is done. Now we just got to wait to get everything, like I said, light blocked and get the final assembly taken care of. So that's what I got for you guys today. In the next one, we're going to go ahead and get on to building our saucer section and getting some of our light boxes put in play. And then we'll probably start with getting this piece glued in, as I kind of want to get this and this put in and get some of the light blocking, or excuse me, cable management taken care of for the backside, because there's going to be a lot of cables running through this model. And as always, a big shout out to Ken at Ken's Hobby Bench. Make sure you follow along with his build. The description, the channel link is going to be down below. And of course, a big thank you to Will over at the Ensign's Chair for printing some parts and designing and being the inspiration for this build. And of course, a big shout out to our sponsor, Cass, over at Lake Monster Details, for sponsoring this build and sending us all these wonderful parts before they hit the main market. So that's what I got for you guys today, and I just want to say thank you. I know that there was a million things y'all could have done today. Instead, you spent a couple minutes with me watching me wire up a model, and I think that's pretty damn cool. If you guys have any questions or comments, tips, tricks, please leave them down below. Like to support the channel, please like and subscribe. And my friends, until we see each other again, I hope you all have a wonderful day in this beautiful world where I happen to be. And just remember that I have been and always shall be your friend.